praying for me. I come from the school of Tupac. I'm a rider. I'm a straight rider.
You don't want to mess.
You don't want to what?
Mess with me.
See, I'm not your average Negro.
Hold up. Chad, I want to ask you a question real quick.
Let's just keep it real, straight shot with no chaser. You know, being is nice, I'm going to get a little bit rough.
It's about standing for justice and these girls like this.
I'm here for those who really believed in the American process, all of us.
You play with me if you want to. Man, we don't stand for him. Who we? See, I'm not your average Negro.
Hold up.
Straight shot, no chaser. With your girl, Tessa Figaro, on the Black Effect Podcast Network.
What's good, Instagram family? What's good, Twitter family? What is good, YouTube family? Put a 3 in the chat if you hear me. Put a 3 in the chat if you feel me. Put a 3 in the chat if you are ready to push the line with me. I just need to know if you're rocking with me and you can hear me well. I've invited everybody to this particular podcast that we are recording live for Straight Shot No Chaser, available every Thursday on the Black Effect Podcast Network. Today I have a special announcement. Thank you, Jimmy, on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube page as well, because a lot of times Instagram knocks me out, and I want to make sure that you hear me, that you feel me, that you are rocking with me, and that we are on the same page. Thank you, Evelyn, in YouTube, and shout out to the Twitter family. I have exciting news today. Exciting news. For those of you that came to the Push the Line training in September in Atlanta, Georgia, it was approximately 300 of you. I want to show you some love for showing that it can happen, for showing that the vision is real, for showing what I've always believed in my mind, my spirit, my soul, what I wrote down as my vision over 10 years ago. You made it a reality in September of last year, and we just got started. I just want to know if you're feeling me when we say it's time that we do it for ourselves. In 2012, I had a campaign before many of you knew me, and it was called Doing It For Ourselves in 2012. And I'm with that again in 2023. It's not about me in 2023. It's about you. And it's time that we ask for more in 2024. So how are we going to do that? It's time we start putting people on the ballot. It's time we start developing formidable candidates. Somebody hashtag formidable candidates. I want you to understand the difference. Plenty of people run for office. People win office. But can I explain to you what a formidable candidate is this morning? Because there seems to be a confusion on what that means. A formidable candidate causes fear, dread, apprehension, having qualities that discourage approach or attack. Anybody can be a candidate, but I'm looking for formidable candidates. It's not even about you winning. It's about being formidable. What is formidable? It means we're going to make the opposition run harder. It means we're going to make them run longer. It means we're going to make them spend money. And guess what? You might just mess around and win. You might just accidentally win, but we're not running for that reason. We're running to show that our voices matter. We're running to show that you're just not going to take over Georgia and just have your way. In case you don't know, Georgia is going to be on one of the early states. Let me give you some game. Right now, they're trying to get the Democrat convention in Georgia, which will probably likely happen. It also will be one of the early states. It used to be Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and then South Carolina. Guess what's happening in 2024. It will be South Carolina first, New Hampshire, Nevada second, Georgia third, and Michigan fourth. Now, many of you self-defeated folks, because I see you on Twitter, bless your heart, you're so self-defeated. You automatically say, well, it ain't no point because Jim Clyburn gonna pick. I just need you to go ahead and get out our way then. If you just want to give it to Jim Clyburn and you don't want to have a say, then just go ahead and move out our way. If you say, well, I'm not going to vote at all and I'm not going to be a part of the process, I ain't mad at you. Go ahead and get out our way. But this message is for those that say, you know what, I don't like what I see on the ballot, so I'm just going to run myself. I don't like what I see on the ballot, and I know that sitting home, for those of you that never worked an election, and I can tell by your rhetoric, there will always be more people that don't run, that don't vote. So you're not beating them. That's not a strategy. I know y'all think it is, Twitter family, but it's not a strategy because there's always going to be more people that vote that do vote. In fact, you make it easier for those that sell us out because then all they need to do is get 500 people to the poll, 1,000 people to the poll. So you sitting home is not some major strategy. I know y'all think y'all got it all together, and I love my Twitter family. Y'all really think y'all doing something when y'all say that. But can I give you some game from actually working on the field? You actually make it better. Now, if you want to create some noise, then you actually run for office. You split the vote. You get somebody else that they can vote for. Sitting at home is not a strategy. It's not a strategy. You just make it easier. If I need to get 10 apples to the polls, and it only matters if I get 6 apples to show up, which is 51% of the vote, and 4 of you say you sitting home, you actually make it easier for me to find the 6 apples to vote for me. But if 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 of you vote for somebody else, now you are a formidable opponent and you make it harder for the other person to win. I need you to get this. You don't get this because you're listening to a lot of people that have never ran a field campaign. And I'm not mad at that message. I ain't tripping about that message. If you want to push, let's not vote, fine. But I want to recruit 3 or 4 candidates in Georgia, in Atlanta, Augusta, Columbia, Savannah, or Macon. This is strategy now. I'm talking strategy. Don't inbox me and say, what about such and such? We need it over here. Let me say it again. Somebody hashtag strategy. I am recruiting candidates in Atlanta, Augusta, meaning you already live there. Somebody hashtag already live there. Atlanta, Augusta, Columbus, Savannah, or Macon. If you live in one of those 4 cities, I want to work with you. If you are a first-time candidate, I want to work with you. If you don't know nothing about politics, I want to work with you. If you don't have the money, the training, I want to work with you. Let me go ahead and I see we got some trolls in the building. And this is not about distractions. I need you to commit to training with me and my team. I'm going to give you the resources you need in 2023. And I need you to commit to going on the ballot in 2024. Can somebody say we want more in 2024? And also, you need to be prepared for a local, somebody say local, or state seat. That means, now I'm not looking for people running for Congress. That's a hope and a dream. Congress it's a wrap. I'm looking for people who want to run for local, meaning mayor, county commissioner, city commissioner, or state representative, or state senator, not U.S. senator. That's what Bernie Sanders is, U.S. senator. Not running for U.S. senator like Gary Chambers did. I'm giving you examples so you can know the difference. Gary Chambers ran for U.S. senator. I'm also not looking for U.S. congressional candidates. This is not about us trying to get you 50,000 people to the polls and to raise over $1 million budget, because that is what you need to run for Congress effectively. Those are just the facts. Many people run with much less. I've worked with candidates that run that work with much less. But I am looking for candidates that want to run local and state. Local and state only. Don't tell me I live in such and such. What about this? Ain't about you and such and such. We're talking about Georgia. We're talking about these 4 cities in Georgia. Because as they continue to develop Georgia as a battleground state, because it is, whether you like it or not, I want to make sure that we have nonpartisan candidates that want to run in a non-traditional way. Not even grassroots. I know a lot of y'all say grassroots. Let me give you my point of view on that. I started a movement in 2011 called Concrete Roots. Actually, do y'all know when y'all say grassroots? Actually, the political term, this is why political education is important. And a lot of you guys use terms that are actually against what it is that the message you're trying to send. Grassroots and grass tops, that's actually your NAACP, your Urban League, all of that. In the political world, those are actually called grassroots organizations. That's why I use the term concrete roots, because it goes deeper than the ground, and it's the candidates from the streets. So I'm not dumping on any of you that I know y'all like to say we're grassroots media, grassroots. But just so y'all know, in the political glossary, grassroots are actually the organizations that many of you are against. So no, I'm not looking for grassroots candidates. I appreciate those in the comments and Instagram trying to help me along, but I don't put words in my mouth, because I need you to follow what it is that I'm talking about. And what it is that I'm talking about are not many or are not the same thing of many of the catchphrases and the YouTube conversations that you guys have been on. A little bit about my background. I've worked on local races, state races, presidential races. I have a lot of wins under my belt. There's a big difference between winning and running. Can somebody hashtag winning versus running? There's also a big difference between winning, running, and being a formidable opponent. So there are some things that candidates need to know in order to be a formidable opponent. And this year in 2023, rather than doing a general training again, I want 3 or 4 candidates that we can actually put on the ballot, that will actually be working with myself and other experts that I bring in. Between now, most local races are in the spring of 2024. I'm not talking about presidential in 2024. In November, I'm not talking about that. Those are where your Congress people will run. I'm talking about local races where you'll be on the ballot in March, sometimes summer races, sometimes August. It just depends. If you want to apply for this, because this is not everybody, the form is on my website, www.teslanfigaro.com. Click on Georgia Black Candidate Search. When you click on that, there will be an application for you to complete. After you complete the application, my team and I will be looking through. And I will be inviting you to meet me in Atlanta in either mid-May, April, or May. Put a 3 if you hear me. To do a one-on-one interview on why you want to run for office. And then once those candidates are selected, which will probably be 2 or 3, I am personally going to wrap myself around them and all of the resources that I have that I can bring to the table. That means one-on-one coaching, time, training, curriculum, media. Basically, it's like making a band, only we're making a candidate. Are y'all feeling that? Put a 4 if you feel that in the chat. And I have some other surprises because I want you guys to learn what this looks like. What it looks like in real time. And I'll be bringing you along on that journey. So the first step, the link is in the bio for those on Instagram. Or go to TeslinFigaro.com, click on Georgia Black Candidate Search. The first thing is following instructions. Meaning if you send me an application saying I'm not in Georgia, I'm in Dallas, Texas, but I really want to run, you're automatically, you're not anybody I want to work with because you need to understand how to follow instruction. See, that's a part of running for office, knowing how to complete forms on time, knowing that your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed, knowing your audience. These are all things that you need to, it doesn't make you look like more of a hustler. It doesn't make you look like you're more energetic. It actually just makes you look like you don't know how to follow instructions. It makes it look like you are anti-paragraph reading. It makes it look like if we send you to a task force meeting with an assignment that you're not going to be able to complete the assignment. So the first step is knowing how to follow instructions. Nobody's impressed by your lack of discipline. Yeah. See, this is the type of training you're going to get with working with me. You're going to get the truth. And it's a lack of discipline if I'm saying you need to live in Atlanta, Augusta, Columbus, Savannah, or Macon, and you send me an email or an inbox about how you live in Timbuktu, but you really want to do it. I'm not talking about Timbuktu. I'm talking about Atlanta, Augusta, Columbus, Savannah, and Macon. Also, don't waste time sending me your hopes and dreams. Oh, well, right now I live in Timbuktu, but I'm willing to move to Macon. No, I am. Let me say it again. We are looking for candidates in Atlanta, Augusta, Columbus, Savannah, or Macon. That means the one requirement is you need to live in one of those cities right now. You need to be black right now. That means whatever you identify with right now is black. Somebody hashtag black. Not people of color. Not I'm this, I'm that. I need you to identify African American, black, whatever it is you use. Not no people of color. Like today, the Nikki Haley, who's running, who announced her bid for conservative for the Republican. All of a sudden, she a people of color. Somebody hashtag this ain't for people of color. This ain't we only talking about one color, and that color is black. And let's be clear about this. When you say you are African American or black, please know that the people in the community need to also know you black and African American. Somebody say amen. Meaning don't all of a sudden you're black, but your whole life you've been pretending to be something else. So African American or black. Well, Teslin, why are you making it about that? Well, because I want to. Now how about that? And because black candidates get the least amount of resources. I tagged it. I put the article out the other day than any other candidate. Because when they talk about minority candidates, people of color candidates, they give it to everybody else but the black candidate. The black candidate don't get the media. The black candidate don't get the fundraising. The black candidate don't get the support with the PAC. So I am focused on black candidates. One, because I want to and there ain't nothing you can do about it and you ain't my boss. And two, because it's needed. So black candidates who already live in Atlanta, Augusta, Columbus, Savannah, and Macon, apply today. You do not have to have previous experience. You do not have to have previous political experience. If you have a record, it's okay. Oh, she criminalizing us. Well, in case you haven't paid attention to the stats, many of us have criminal records. Ain't nobody criminalizing you. I'm telling you what it is. I'm going to bring down candidates who I've worked with that have criminal records, who have won their campaigns. We are going to run you even if the state say you can't be on the ballot. This is something very different because I am focused on formidable opponents, not Congress, only local and state. You need to be prepared to listen and learn. Somebody hashtag you don't know everything. Somebody hashtag that a race is not just on Twitter all day. If you want to be a leader of a pack and you want to sit up all day and talk on Twitter, this ain't what this is for. This is for candidates that are going to get their ass out. Somebody hashtag ass out and knock on the doors to get voters to come to them to vote. And it does not start or end on Twitter or Instagram. So if you are interested in being a Twitter celebrity, a social media celebrity, a Facebook celebrity, an Instagram celebrity, guess what? This ain't for you. That is a part of it, but this is not what this will be centered on. If your ego is too big for the movement, this is not for you. If you think you know everything about everything, but you ain't never won nothing, this is not for you. If you don't have the receipts to debate me and tell me what you think is best, this ain't for you. This is my program. Somebody hashtag my program. I know y'all don't like that, but that's how it is. We're going to run this particular journey just like basic training in the military, meaning I'm going to tell you some things that's going to hurt your feelings. I'm going to tell you some things that your mama ain't going to tell you. We're going to sharpen you in a way that you can present yourself to be a formidable opponent. That means if I say that speech ain't good enough and I tear it up, you need to be able to have enough balls, somebody hashtag balls, to be able to withstand tough criticism. Because at the end of this, you will be a formidable opponent, meaning the opposition will shake in their boots when they see you, meaning the opposition will know when they see you, it just got real, meaning you will organize your community in a way that has never been organized before, meaning we're going against the grain, meaning there's going to be some tears. Yes. We're going to deal with your fears. Yes. We're going to deal with the skeletons in your closet. Yes. We're going to take your pain. We're going to turn it into purpose. So if you know somebody that lives in these particular 4 cities, and I'm not talking about those that you think should run, oh, such and such should run because he got a blue suit and he talks proper and he's a part of this or a part of that. I need you to go find the homies on this one. Somebody hashtag the homies. I need you to go find somebody that you know got it in you. Somebody that you know that can organize a crowd. Somebody you know that can get on the mic. Somebody you know that is sincere. Somebody that you know that say, you know what? He don't have the resources. He don't have the money. He may not be polished. He may not have a suit in his closet, but I believe in him. And I believe if he can do it, somebody else can do it. I'm looking for a formidable opponent. I'm looking for the non-traditional opponent. And we're going to work with you between the summer and the midterms, which is usually the spring of 2024. Put a 2 of you with me. Put a 2 of you feel this. We don't need a whole bunch, just 2 or 3. And we're going to shadow this experience as well. I'm going to use every resource I have. On the media side, my friends with bigger names than me that support me, to be able to profile these candidates in a way that it's never been done before. But why you saying never been done before? Because it ain't nobody but one Tesla Figaro. I'm sorry. It just is. I'm recording this live on the podcast, so if you know somebody, reshare this. It'll be available on Thursday. Reshare the Instagram live. Share the video I put up this morning on the YouTube and Instagram. You need to be able to listen. You can go argue back and forth. But I'm getting ready to show you what basic training look like for real. I'm going to do you in the Air Force style. You need to be doing more listening. We're going to tighten you up to do this for real. And we're going to have our disagreements, and that's fine too. But I don't take no losses. And what I mean by that is you will be a formidable opponent. So I only need 2 or 3. We're going to go through the application process. Oh, why are you doing the application process? Because that's just what it is. You will come down in Atlanta in May, April or May. You will meet with us face to face. You can be shaking in your boots and nervous, and that's okay. We're going to get you to where you need to go. I wanted to go this route because the timing is critical on what's happening in Georgia in the next year. And we must have our seat at the table. For those of you that want to give up and say it don't matter because they already decided who, that's fine. Give up. You a quitter. I don't like you anyway. But for those that want to put some skin in the game, come rock with me. This will be the blueprint for the real ones. You can apply now at TeslaandFigaro.com. Click on Georgia Black Candidate Search. Complete the application. In the next few weeks, we'll be going through sourcing that, and then we'll be inviting you to come to Atlanta. No, I'm not paying for you to come to Atlanta. You should be able to drive to Atlanta. And we're going to chronicle this. And we're going to show this step by step. And I'm going to ask every expert that I have access to, from speechwriters, fundraisers, media, you name it. We're going to try to wrap that around you. I decided to do this instead of just another general training. Because shout out to the Twitter family. Let me just say this and put this on the record. For those that came to my last training and then ran back on Twitter playing games, I'm not interested in people like that. We're going to identify 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people that really want to run for office that we can wrap our names around. I don't have time for trolls sitting up in my class, people coming under one name. 1 minute you over here, you go buy hot dog and fish on Twitter, you run back, you play game. I'm not playing game. That's why I got this live for Twitter to hear this. I'm not interested in the games that y'all like to play. We're going to identify 3 or 4 candidates that want to use their first government name, that not just using a hashtag, that really want to run for office. And running for office is not talking shit on Twitter. Let me say it again. Running for office is not talking shit on Twitter, in a Twitter space. It is actually getting your ass out on the ground, knocking on doors, raising money locally, meeting with the people you need to be meeting with. 95% of your time should be on the ground, not online. Let me say it again. 95% of your time should be on the ground, not online. Online is very important. It's very important to galvanize people around your message. But the people that you're talking to online can't even vote for you. So they're literally just distracting you from talking to the people that can actually vote for you. So this ain't no hustle to just raise money and be well known. Scratch all of that. We got enough of that in the game. I'm looking for local candidates, state candidates that actually got a shot in hell. What I mean by that is you can win your local seat with a couple thousand votes. You can win your state rep seat with a couple thousand votes. This ain't no pie in the sky looking for 10,000 people to go to the polls. How do I know? My resume shows it. That's just facts. So we need serious candidates that get that. Shout out to the other candidates that run for Senate and Congress. I love Gary Chambers. I think what he did was absolutely necessary. But I want to work with candidates that want to run for local or state office, because we want to show you what it means to be a formidable opponent. Somebody that they fear, not somebody that they laugh at. And there is a big damn difference. But I encourage those of you that want to run for Congress, keep running, keep doing what you do, baby. But this curriculum is going to go into those that actually want a 50-50 chance of winning, or a 70% chance of being respected. And they ain't got to like you, but they going to respect you by the time we get done with making you a formidable opponent. So again, this podcast episode is the Push the Line Nonpartisan Political Training Georgia Black Candidate Search. I'm going to be posting this constantly. I want to see you in April or May. We just need 2 or 3 riders to show you how it's done. Make sure you visit www.teslandfigaro.com. If you have not subscribed to my podcast on iHeartRadio, my podcast is a podcast on iHeartRadio. I drop new content every Thursday. It's not a YouTube show. It's not a space show. It is on iHeartRadio, the largest audio platform in America. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to it. But I do like to connect with you on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, just because, one, I like talking to a live audience when I'm talking. And it's important that we hit various media resources with getting out the very important information that we need to get to reach the people. I look forward to seeing your applications on TeslandFigaro.com. Make sure you complete all of the information. And let's get it. And let me also say this. After we get our candidates, guess who's going to be working on the team? I'm going to do another search for campaign managers. So if you want to help out and work on a campaign, guess what? We're going to put you on some of these campaigns, because a candidate needs to learn to work with other people outside of their cousin and mom and sister, because they don't know what they're doing anyway. So this will be a twofold thing. Candidates and operatives. We're going to pair you up. We're going to get this done. But first, we need to get some candidates, and then we're going to get some operatives. Probably about 10 total candidates, operatives, whoever. If it's just one, I'm all right with just being just one, because we want the right candidate. We want the formidable candidate that we all can rally around, that we can support, that we can say, this is our candidate. And I'm bringing you throughout the whole process. Put a 1 in the chat if that sounds good to you. We're going to select our candidate. We're going to support our candidate. We're going to choose our candidate. We are the new establishment. Straight Shot, No Chaser family is the new establishment. And I want you to be a part of that process. So, make sure you apply at TeslandFigaro.com. Thanks for listening to another episode of Straight Shot, No Chaser on the Black Effect Podcast Network. Some other fun things are in store this year. I'll keep you posted in that. Make sure you rock with your girl. I have some major announcements that I'm excited about. But until then, I'll catch up with you.
Bishop is still praying for me. I come from the school of Tupac. I'm a rider. I'm a straight rider.
You don't want to mess
You don't want to what?
with me.
See, I'm not your average Negro.
Hold up. Ted, I want to ask you a question real quick.
Let's just keep it real, straight shot with no chaser. You know, being is nice, I'm going to get a little bit rough.
It's about standing for justice. And these guys like this.
I'm here for those who really believe in the American process, all of us.
You play with me if you want. Man, we don't have to have who we. See, I'm not your average Negro.
Hold up.
Straight shot, no chaser. With your girl